Hey, what's up guys, Andrew here. This is my full review on the Dell Inspiron 11 3000. This is an all new budget line from Dell to compete with the HP Stream 11, ASUS X205TA, and the Lenovo 100S. These budget notebooks are aimed at casual users who need a notebook for light duty work, affordability, and something small and compact. Without further ado, here's a quick unboxing of the new Inspiron 11 3000. On the top you got your manuals, and you also get 100GB free of OneCloud storage. And on the left side, you got your AC adapter and your power cord. So let's break down the specs. You're getting an Intel Celeron N3050, 2 gigs of RAM, an 11.6-inch display with a resolution of 1366 by 768, 32 gigs of flash storage, all of this for a retail price of $199. The design of the Inspiron 11 looks a little too flashy for my taste. It's a little too colorful, just like the HP Stream 11. It comes in this blue glossy finish that is a fingerprint magnet. The whole notebook is made out of plastic, and the bottom is made out of this matte plastic finish that feels pretty solid. There are 3 color choices to choose from. There's Alpine White, Tango Red, and Bali Blue. The weight comes in at 2.6 pounds and is fairly thin at 0.73 inches. The interior is made out of this two-tone black and white finish that looks pretty sleek for a budget notebook. For your ports on the left side, you got your charging port, full-size HDMI, USB 3, and a micro SD card slot. On the right side, you got your headset microphone jack combo, USB 2, and your Noble lock slot. This one has the same amount of ports as the HP Stream 11, so it's pretty much a tie. Next up, let's take a look at display flex. As you can see here, the middle flexes a lot compared to the HP Stream 11, but it's not to the point where I'm going to be concerned. Where the Inspiron 11 3000 series excels is the keyboard flex. There is very minimal flex. Overall, Dell offers a decent design and build for $199. 11.6-inch TN panel is just about the same quality as the other budget notebooks. The resolution comes in at 1366 by 768, which is pretty good for an 11-inch notebook. Now the bad news is the color accuracy is poor. The sRGB coverage came in at 62% and the Adobe RGB was 46%. Another minor complaint was the screen brightness was a little on the low side at 223 nits. Indoor use will be fine, but outdoor use will be limited with this kind of brightness. And last but not least is viewing angles. This is the TN panel, so the viewing angles are going to be very limited. The displays on these budget notebooks are usually very poor, so you're just going to have to tilt it at a good angle in order to get a good picture. Processing performance comes from the Intel Celeron N3050. This is a Braswell chip that is built for light duty work like browsing the web, watching 1080p videos, and Microsoft Office apps. If you plan on working on some intense software, then you'll see the CPU come to a crawl. Next up, let's test out some web browsing performance on this Intel Celeron chip. Let's test out the CNN website. So far still thinking. And it's loading up. So that took 5 or 6 seconds give or take. Now keep in mind these websites usually have tons of ads running on them, so that's probably why it's so slow. Now let's test out some YouTube streaming. This is at 1080p and so far it's running smooth like butter. The Intel N3050 did suffer the same issues I had with the HP Stream 11 when trying to run Minecraft. For some reason this CPU and Minecraft are not getting along like the N2840 did. At times the game looks playable, but then you'll get a massive frame rate drop all the way down to 5 frames per second. Hopefully they can get this resolved soon. The buttonless trackpad is small and it feels crammed at times, but give it some time you'll get adjusted to it. Tracking, 2-finger scrolls were pretty solid. For a budget notebook, this one takes the cake. It's a much better performer than the HP Stream 11 and ASUS X205TA. The keyboard is much smaller than the HP Stream 11, but it offers good feedback and the key travel is decent. Overall, I had a good typing experience on this keyboard. This one is pretty much neck and neck with the HP Stream 11. The 2 top-facing speakers offer adequate sound. They are top-facing, so the sound clarity is a little better compared to other budget notebooks. Battery performance from the 32Wh battery pack was good. I was getting around 5.5 to 7.5 hours with medium screen brightness. Now this is with light duty tasks like browsing the web, working on office documents, and mixed video streaming like Netflix and YouTube. The 720p HD webcam did a decent job. The brightness levels were poor, but the clarity was actually decent. Now let's take a look at the internal components of the new Inspiron 11 3000 series. Most of the space is consumed by the 32Wh battery pack and your motherboard. You do get 2 gigs of RAM, but it is soldered on board, so there are no future upgrades for those components. The 32GB eMMC storage is soldered on board as well, and you're left with about 17GB free after Windows 10 is preloaded. The read speeds are a little better than the traditional 5400 RPM hard drive, however the write speeds are pretty similar to those drives. The only component you can really swap out is the Intel 3160, but I didn't have any issues with this wireless card. My overall connection was solid and the range has been good. So let's get to the conclusion of the Dell Inspiron 11 3000. This is a low-cost notebook that will get basic computing tasks done. The other three notebooks are pretty similar as well in performance. It's just going to come down to what model and design you prefer. Another thing to keep in mind is the port selection. The Stream 11 and the Inspiron 11 3000 feature one USB 2 and one USB 3. This might be a deal breaker for some of you guys that want fast transfer speeds, since the internal storage is very limited on these notebooks. I also prefer the full-size HDMI port found on the HP Stream 11 and Dell. And keep in mind the Lenovo 100S does not feature 2-finger scrolling. Alright guys, I hope this video was helpful in helping you decide on which budget notebook to buy. If you found this video helpful, please be sure to smash on that like button, and don't forget to sub on your way out. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.